What's up, guys? So on this Shoki review, we're going to take a look at the HG Hyakuri from the Gundam IBO line. And this, of course, is from Season 1. As we saw in the unboxing, definitely very different from standard IBO kits. It, has lots of different gimmicks, but the turbine suits usually were. So you get a great shot of the Hyakuri in kind of battle mode here. That's actually pretty nice. Nice machine guns. Just, yeah. You got explosions. You've got flames coming out. You've got Hyakuri here in its high speed mode. You've got laughter. Just looking like laughter. And you've got Bandai down here. Bandai 2015. So very old kit. It's actually one of the first ones that came out. So we got down here action. So it can do things. It can pose. And you've got whatever that says. Yay for that. And you got a nice little pose right there on the stand. You've got, hey, that thing is something. And look, a foot. And then you've got stuff happening with arrows right there. And you've got customized. Because, of course, with any of these, you can throw on extra weapons, which we'll take a look at later. Turn around here, and it is HG Iron-Blooded Orphans. You got the Hyakuri here. Number 005, so very early on. You got BandaiHobby.net. And it's the camera right there. And you got the obligatory front and rear shot right there. Looks really good. And there you have a read-up on the pilot and the suit. But, of course, I can't read that because it's in Japanese and I'm not. And then, of course, you got the story. Same problem. And gtakatsu.com. And you've got warnings right there about sticking laughter in the 3-year-old's face. It's just odd. And come over here, 1,200 yen. Nice and cheap kit because, it was. And then the little guy with the toilet. And you've got illustration is by Yamada Takahiro. Special effects are by Koma. And the background image is by Saito Yoshinobu. So pretty much the way all the Season 1 suits and kits were. So very pretty artwork. Very nice things here. So explosions and things, all really, really cool. Laughter. Cue that build montage. And here we have the Hyakuri all done and done. And really, guys, this thing, it only took me a few hours, like pretty much an afternoon to get done. Fairly simplistic kit, like a lot of those early IBO kits were. And, you know, it does look really, really cool. I love the color scheme. I love the different tans and browns and the grays. On top of the not quite pure white. And as it goes, it's a very, very, you know, individual suit. There's like nothing else remotely like this in the entire series. And the fact we were introduced to it, you know, as like a main foil for the Barbatos when they got into space, you know, you couldn't even keep up with it. That was actually pretty awesome. She comes in flying around really, really fast and powerful, so it's actually really, really neat suit. And if I remember correctly, we did see it in Season 2 whenever they were going after Jasley. And there was one or two of them, then they ended up getting beat by Barbatos, actually, I think. So it's actually really, really cool. Now let's take a quick look at the accessories and stuff, because they're few and far between. But I'm just knocking stuff all around. So you can see she's already holding these really cool machine guns, very different from all the other ones we've gotten. So very long and lean. I really do dig these things, and they do fold up like so, and they do actually fold right here. So they will become part of flight mode. We'll get there whenever we talk about transformation, but more or less that's how that's going to go. And they do just use a standard kind of IBO handle, just that straight shot right there, and plug straight into the hands. So that's a thing that it does. Now the other cool thing is you do get a nice included stand, as we saw in the unboxing. You also get this little bitty stand extender. See if I can get it out of here. It's a very, very tough hole, so to speak. So if you didn't have it on this, its feet would technically drag on the ground a little bit worse than they already do. So it's a very good thing to have. But, you know, these stands are like super cheap, and you gotta love them. Now it comes with a couple extra accessories that I still haven't technically used, so we'll see how they work out. So you get these little adapters, and if they look familiar, it's because they are actually shield mounts that you can plug into the arms. So if I read that correctly, you could totally plug them in, probably very specific sides. If I had to guess, yep, there's a specific left and right side. Plug it into the elbow like so. Plug one on either side so you can see what's going on here. And see, I don't recall it ever doing this, so one cool thing is the kits were designed before the show was made, so sometimes they'll have gimmicks and stuff that the actual show didn't include. So if you pull off this little piece back here, you see a big old plug right there, and you can totally use it as a claw punchy shield thingy. So that's actually really, really cool. Pull the other one off real quick. Now those seem like they're a little stiff coming off. That's because of the paint that's added on there. Now you can see how that's, you know, either that way or that way, depending on what you want to do. That's actually pretty badass. I actually really, really like that. So let's just pull these guys off for the time being. That was on there. You should just pull that whole thing off. Now, from what I could tell, when you go into high-speed mode, you can't really have those involved. They'll get in the way, but we'll take a look at that in a minute. Now, let's take a look at the details. Come up close, you got this really cool, like, five-eyed head, and yet you had to paint that with a little bit of metallic red marker. I think metallic purple probably would have worked out better, but mine is dead, as we probably know. But it's pretty cool. The articulation is a little limited just by not having room to move. So left to right, not really super far. You can turkey neck just a little bit, but there's nowhere to grab the head. So you see like that, it's a little stuck. But otherwise it looks pretty good. Now you've got these big old chest vents right here. You do have to paint those or use a sticker. You guys know I don't really like to use the stickers when I can, so I painted those. Same over here. They do give you stickers for these. Went ahead and painted those as well. The only stickers I did use were the ones here on the elbow. Honestly, because I hate trying to paint white over gray. So realistically, they're not terrible. We've had worse in the IBO line, so I'm actually okay with those for once. I really do dig those. Now, legs, just added a little bit of gray work right there. And then these kind of vents on the back. I don't believe there's any stickers for them. They just needed to be gray. Same thing with this one right back here. This whole thing more than likely probably could have been gray, but there was no definitive shots of that on the boxes. You also get these cool exposed pistons in the legs, which they seem to like to do on these turbine kits. So those got some chrome because, you know, what else you can use a chrome marker for? What else we got? So this whole part right here, as you can see, is painted gray. Inside the thruster, it's got a little bit of gray. But these are supposed to be gray, but they don't give you stickers, anything for that. If you really wanted to, you could do this entire inside as gray, but that's, you know, that's up to your individual tastes. Let me pull these guys off. So the way these go in, you have the slot right there, and of course the big grooves right there. You've got those little tabs sticking out right there. And at least as far as I could tell, there's no definitive left or right, so you just stick them in and they fill in the gap just like that. You do have a big old hole right there that of course will come into play in a minute. Now before we go too far, we're going to take a quick look at the sister suits to this, all the other turbine suits as it were. So at least at the time when this was used, you had Yamita's custom, and you had the standard Hyakuri. So you got Hyakuri and Hyakuri. So obvious the way they go together. And yeah, I'm going to be doing a turbine only display, so this will look really cool. But of course, down the line, you did get the Roe, which was of course these, but basically made over, and then eventually made into its own suit. But then, at the end of the line, you get the Hyakuri, which is easier to see now that I knocked that one out of the way. But the cool thing with the Hyakuri is you can see some of the development from this to this. The high speed mode, some of the extra vents, the way things are lined up. Very, very similar in concept. But of course, this is more or less a development of what they got from all the other ones. This one in particular has a bit of a problem standing. Both have the same feet, it just for some reason this one wants to fall over more. Now, as we kind of saw in the box, you can totally use these weapons on this kit. So you can either hold the missile launcher itself, just as the Hyakuri was using. Set you out of the side there, sweetie. And if you really can get the arm up, you can use it. Hopefully. Wrong way. Get in there. So she can hold it, whatever good that'll do. So she can hold that. Now you are supposed to be able to mount that to this kit. Now, if I can get these off. Okay, so these just plug in right through here. Now there are adapters that came with the option part set that will allow you to plug this into here and has a little arm and stuff like that. However, I don't know where those parts are, sadly. So, you know, that's how you can plug on extra weapons. You just pop these off and you use the little adapters, and you have the weird kind of plugs that work there. That is totally how you do that. But yeah, sadly I can't replicate that right now. Like I said, I can't find those spare parts. So let's take a look at articulation. So getting into articulation right quick, we already looked at the head, so that's really pretty easy. Now these little bits right here do move up and down. They're just there for, you know, the sake of transformation, and other things will come into play when we transform it. Come down to the shoulders, and you do get the standard kind of captured ball joint right there, so you can come that far forward with it. If you rotate it, you can totally just pop it right out. So yeah. Okay, so the ball joint only goes so far. Now you can see, as I just popped out again, there is a really big cutout right in there. Hard to see. So that will actually allow you to get the shoulders straight out. Now, of course, you're going to use that for transformation, but it's kind of cool to have that in this level. So that means if you rotate it, let's see here, maybe we can get a good high teacher amongst all of this articulation. Now you're not going to be able to get the arms straight up and down for obvious reasons, but we can get a decent, some kind of striking pose. That's just weird. It's very weird. Okay, let's see here. Rotate everybody back in the right direction. You do get bicep rotation, as you do. The arm keeps popping off because I keep pushing it too far. Now he does actually get double jointed elbows, which is really cool. So up here and up here, now these are all very, very small plastic joints. Always want to be careful with those. And also want to be careful so you don't mess up your stickers, because, you know, stupid stickers. Hands are IBO hands, so ball joint. These are very, very stiff. So try not to move them around too much. Odds are you're going to snap that peg. Now the chest, there's not a crunch, but you do get twisting motions. So you get these pistons. They're actually mounted on a ball joint in there. So as you can maneuver it, as long as they don't get hung up, they will twist and move more or less with the body. It's kind of cool. Now there's a little bit of motion in there in the ball joint, but not a lot. So I don't think, I'm not about to try to force it. Now the hips do, I was going to say they rotate this way, but actually these don't. But you do get T-mounted right there, so you can get a very, very good kick forward with the toe point. You can get endless kick backwards, which more or less could be for flight mode. You do get thigh swivel. It's not rotation, but thigh swivel. Basically mounted up here. It's hip swivel. Shh, hip swivel. So if we come down here, we get a nice double jointed knee, like you do. Though, of course, this forces the thruster right into your leg. You don't want that, right? So actually, if you do, okay, so that's the limit. I'm pushing it. I wanted to see. So you can fold the legs up very nice and neat if you really want to. It's, you know, very nice and kneeling. Oh, we didn't try for Jean-Claude, but it's not going to get there. It's just the way it's going to do. It's just not very good. Oh, totally missed the spot you had to paint. These little vents are right there. Now ankles, you get a little bit of rock side to side. I don't think you're going to get any forward and back movement, but you get the toe point for transformation because it does have the high speed mode. So realistically, you know, the articulation is what it is. So now going right before we go into transformation, I want to show off some of the details up here. So on top of the backpack, you've got this cool little dished area. So that's 2 different stickers. Wasn't about to paint that. Also, all of these areas right here are stickers. You get a little bit of paint back there. That's actually very sloppy, and I hate myself. Hate it. Yeah, it's not bad though. So, I mean, there's a lot of good molded detail on that backpack part. I mean, they really just wanted this thing to be a straight up high speed, force it to go forward situation. Now, one thing I found is you pop that open and you get a plug. At least with this weapon set and the way things are, I don't know what's supposed to go there. I mean, it looks like it should be for a turret or something. So I assume that, you know, at some point in all of these weapons kits, there was an adapter for that, but I did not see one. I'm sure one of you in the comments will let me know. But let's go ahead and get her into high speed mode. We've already got the feet kind of how they need to be. So let's get the backpack ready. So you want to take these. Technically, since that wants to hinge itself, we can do that. And we just want to rotate this all the way back. And we want to make sure this hand is turned sideways. Not perfectly perpendicular, but, you know, sideways nonetheless. And it'll fill in that gap like so. Now we take our machine gun that we folded up earlier. Make sure that's good. I want to stick this more or less right inside this. So you want the hand holding the handle, and then you want this whole part inside there. It's going to tweak things a little bit, but that's okay. So then you want to take that and then just shut it over everything so that it all holds somehow in place. Now the handle might get a little wonky. It is what it is. And in particular, that gun does not want to point directly forward. So things are a little bit wonky. So let's go ahead and do this side. Same thing. Rotate at the shoulder joint. So you'll see that that fills in that gap nicely. You got the hand pulled back and turned sideways, like so. You can get a little bit more position out of that shoulder joint probably. I'll take the gun, fold it in half, open up these little winglets, and then you want to tuck that in there. Come on, get in the handle. Come on. Like so. And then take your end piece and jam it up in there. And once again, very twisted. Don't know why. So those should be pointed more or less forward. And then you just take the legs and you kind of make these thrusters point backwards. You point these, so you want to barely bend the knees like so. And then you take it, put it on the stand back here. And there you have your Hyakuri in flight mode. And that's actually really cool. I really do dig this. Now you can leave the guns out if you want to, but you know, I like them plugged in so you can get that maneuver. Of course, if you have another gun, like if you can get the handle in there or something like that, you could probably do that. Also, this is where these plugs would come in handy. Like, see, I was hoping that this part would actually like slide out or something, but it doesn't. It's just the spot that holds the hinge. So it's actually pretty cool. Let's see here. Bend the legs just enough. Yeah, I really do like this kit, guys. I mean, it's super cheap. I hadn't had it, and this almost completes my Season 1 IBO kits. It does complete my turbine set, and I'm good with that. I really do like this kit. It definitely suggested if you like some cool, funky mobile suits, but of course, mind you have to do a little bit of touch-up work if you really want to. You know, like you can leave the eyes. There's no stickers. There's nothing for that. So if you want those eyes to be pink or purple or whatever color you really do prefer, you're gonna have to paint it. I did it with just one of those really pointy Q-tips and just got it in there with the paint, cleaned up the excess. So that is what it is. And whenever I get around to actually finalizing this display, we'll see it all come together. It'll be really cool, guys. But that's it for the Hyakuri review. I hope you have enjoyed it, guys. If you guys haven't heard about my Patreon, it'll be right here on the screen. Of course, I want to thank my patrons, SteelAngelJohn, Andy Tubbs. You guys are awesome. If you guys have any interest in what my Patreon video, or what my Patreon is, what you can get for it, I'll have it up here in the card, hopefully right there. If not, just go to the link and it'll tell you everything you need to know. But as always, guys, keep on building.